What's up, everybody? I am here with a new lesson today, and I'm going to be stressing the importance of the pedal tone and various ways you can employ it, apply it, use it in your style, and then add it in if you're not using it already. I implore you to get used to the pedal tone. I demand it now. It is an integral part of playing, and you should be a master of the pedal tone. There are millions of ways to use it. Today I'm going to go over just a few. So let's begin and get right to it so we can get done and get to learning. A pedal tone is a repeated note, usually in the rhythm. Can be done in the lead as well, but typically, it's more noticed in the rhythm sections. The most popular pedal tone that I know is Crazy Train's intro, revolving off the F sharp. Pivoting off that bad boy. Pedal tone. It just comes back to this note. And there it is, folks. The most popular pedal tone ever is this F sharp in the Crazy Train intro. Okay, so that is an example of a pedal tone right there. There's countless songs with pedal tones. You'll recognize them. You'll start thinking of songs you know as soon as you understand a little bit more about it. And if you already know more about it, great. Maybe I can give you a little insight into adding it to a new flavor of it to your style and adding a new dimension to your playing. It only takes a small tweak to make a huge difference. We all know that. So maybe I can give you a small tweak that makes a huge difference in your playing. So I'm just going to, say typically rock bands used to use the A string pedal tone, and metal bands used to use the E string pedal tone, and it's still kind of that way today. Metal bands are not going to be pedaling off this. I don't think Lamb of God's ever going to write a song pedaling off this A note, right? I don't think so. And rock bands aren't going to be chugging down in drop D, so not like they would anyway. So typically, generally speaking, the heavier pedal tones are for the metal, and rock bands would use D and A and maybe a light version of the E pedal tone. I'm going to show you a couple different ways right now. So the first thing I did in the intro is I just used a simple E string with some power chords. Begin with a simple 4 count on your pedal. I'm assuming you all know how to use the palm mute, so we're not going to go over that. But a pedal tone of 4 is just, a basic start. That's the most basic way that I could demonstrate it. Right? And then you just work your speed. I will say this to you guys out there who are just starting to play or have been playing for a little while, you're intermediate level players. This goes for anybody who's not an advanced player. If you've never played Master of Puppets, you don't understand how the pedal tone is. So the most difficult pedal tone out there is Master of Puppets. When you want to play like James Hetfield, the man downpicks everything at blistering speeds, and he is just an awesome pedal tone guy. So if you want to learn how to play Master of Puppets, you'll have a whole new respect for downpicking that pedal tone, because it is massive and it takes an enormous amount of practice to just be able to play that song. And as soon as you stop practicing that song, you no longer can play it, because it is just that fast. And most people can't even play it the way he plays it. I'm sure there are a handful, obviously, people can, but it's not as many as you think. The average guy is not going to just go and learn Master of Puppets. You have to be a master of downpicking the pedal tone. So that would just be this. Like that, but a little faster and a lot longer. and the breaks in between. So there's your simplest form. You just start with a 4 count and you just start rolling down your strings. We're just using simple basic, power chords of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Keep into the key of A minor. And if we wanted to play off the D string, you could do the same thing. And then what chords you use, I typically use the movable shapes. But I don't pedal off the D a whole lot. I pedal mostly off the A if I'm going to use those type of movable shapes like A minor, G major, F, things like that. Now the pedal tones get interesting when you change the number of times you use the pedal between your chords. That is the secret to using the pedal tone and getting dimensional sounds, meaning three-dimensional, multi-dimensional, things that are different, moving and changing all the time. It's all based on how well you can master changing the number of times you pedal between, and that ends up creating the riff. I'll give you some simple examples. So in here I did 2 pedals and then 1 pedal. Here. And then 1. See that? The difference of 2 and 2, if I did it twice, if I did 2 times both chords, it would be this. It's different, right? You hear the difference? How many times you change your pedals, and then you can drop down to things like doing 1. So how many times you change it continues to add dynamics to the riff. So you could drop it down to 1s. There's the double right there. All single pumps to the end and a double at the end. Like all single pumps down and then a double at the end. So you see double pumps. They all change the dynamics of that riff. So you have to learn to change the number of times you're going to throw those pedal tones around in a down picking situation like that. And that is the basis for metal bands like Lamb of God, Shadows Fall, pretty much all metal bands that use a pedal tone. That's the secret. They're constantly changing the number of times the pedal is used in between chord progressions and switches, and that defines the riff for that particular song. Now here's a pedal that has a skip in it. And that, folks, turns into a gallop. there's a one pump in between a lot of shifts. The double pump in the beginning to the single pump. See that? It's fast. That's two pumps. You see that? And then you just do whatever else you're going to do. That's a rhythmic way of using the down-picked, pedal tone like that. Then there's this. Then you also have the gallops. The pedal tones become gallops, and then the gallop becomes the pedal tone. Shut her down with the single pump. So what I do for the double pump, folks, is I upstroke the power chord to get a different vibe and get the speed and the fluidity. You got to be smooth if you're going to be in the groove. So look, down, down, up. Again, it's in all my videos. If you watch all my crap, I'm always pushing down, down, up. There's a classic example of the down, down, up. Here's your straight 16th note pedal tone, right? Whiplash, Metallica. This is like the beginning of thrash pedal tones. Now we're counting out 4 groups of 16th notes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And their pedal tone is in that song, that's the pedal tone. When you see solos, it's things like this. Kirk Hammett used them all the time on Kill 'Em All. Solos are going like this, pedal tones everywhere. Whiplash, right? So he's pedal toning the wall, he's walking it all the way up the guitar. Then he's like, right? He's like, so he's pedal toning it all the way up. He's just following the key of E minor. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Then he breaks out again. E. He's all over the E. Notice? James is up here on E. He's down here on E. Everything in the song was about E or B. That's why he pedaled the B string in the Whiplash. He pedaled the B because it's the 5 in the key of E, and everybody knows when you're in metal, it's about 1 and 5, E and B, right? Come on. If you don't know that, get your fucking head out of the sand, man. It's all about the E and the B, brother. And they knew that shit at 19. That's why they're great, because they knew it. They did the homework. There you go, folks. That is some simple ways to begin using your pedal tones. Get your ass in the chair, get your guitar in the air, and start playing. I want to see some skills out of you guys. Thanks for watching my videos. Check out some of my shorts. They'll help you when you're at a traffic light, and I'll see you soon.